Okay, guys, so in this video, we will be looking at the University of Luxembourg. So I want you to watch the video to the end because it's very detailed and it's opportunity driven. We will also be looking at student visa requirements, the nightmare of most students, how to get student visa to study abroad. So this video, if you are looking to study in Europe, this is the right video for you. Stick to the video to the end, and I believe you will benefit greatly. We will also be looking at cost of living. You know, one major requirement for student visa is proof of funds. And Luxembourg doesn't have a specific funds you need to have in your account. However, there are some guidelines I would give you for you to get that proof of funds. So watch the video to the end. Also, can you work as a student in Luxembourg? So we will address that in the video. And also, is the opportunity for bachelor's, master's, PhD, integrated masters? We will address that in the video. So stick with us to the end. Also, we will have a look at the language requirements. Language requirements to study in the university. And then finally, we will address the issue of dependence. Can you go with your dependents? So stay with us whilst we embark on this journey together. So this is the university we are looking at. This is their homepage, University of Luxembourg. And guys, trust me, Luxembourg is one of the beautiful countries in Europe with quality lifestyle, good employment opportunities, and conducive for raising family. So let's quickly, before we move on to the specifics for this university, I want us to quickly have a look at the student visa issues because that's the most that if you are going to experience any difficulties, it will be with the student visa because the school is very easy to get, and we will have a look in a minute. So let's quickly have a look. This is the European Union website because Luxembourg is part of the 27 or 28 European countries. So if you gain a visa to Luxembourg, meaning you've gained access to over 27 countries. Now let's have a look at the conditions for student visa to the European Union. So, to come to Luxembourg as a student, you must be enrolled in a full time study in a higher education institution, including for doctoral studies, or be participating in a student exchange program. So, this is the main requirement. You need to gain offer of admission, and then you then need to obtain a residence permit from the embassy or consulate. Okay, so these are the procedures. This is for the European Union, so we will have a look at the specifics for Luxembourg later. So the residence permit, you must apply for an authorization to stay for students at the Directorate of Immigration, that's Luxembourg, of the Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs. Okay, so this is their link. All right, and the visa, once granted, the student must, if necessary, obtain a visa. So if your request is granted, you then proceed to obtain the visa within 90 days. That's 3 months. I mean, yeah, it's kind of similar to the UK where you'll be given the entry permit. Then when entry clearance, then when you get to the country, you go for your residence permit. And the documents you require, you need proof you have been admitted to the institution. You need to show sufficient financial resources that you can support yourself. So it's either your own finances or you have a sponsor. And if you have a sponsor, then all you need is a sponsor letter and the bank statement of the sponsor. And you need to provide proof of health insurance. And if you are a minor, according to Luxembourg standards, you need to provide proof of parental consent. And the validity of the permit, depends on the duration of your study, of course, we all know that, and further requirements. So when you get to the country, you need to do other things. But that's aftermath. So let's focus on the um, pre-departure. Let's focus on before you leave your own country, the things you need to do. So if your request for authorization to stay is refused, you'd have the opportunity to appeal as well. So guys, that's the according to the European Union, there are a lot of other things you can benefit from. So now let's move on to the proof of funds. That's the major issue. So what documents do I need to get to get a Luxembourg Schengen visa? Schengen visa is the categorical name for the visa to Europe. All the European countries, 27 or 28, let's say we see them as a one country. So if you get visa to any of those countries, automatically you can use it to travel across all those European countries. So these are the required documents for Luxembourg visa. Completed student visa application form, which is done online. You need a passport with at least 2 blank pages. Okay, you need a recent identical photos as per the Schengen visa requirements. You need health insurance to cover the entirety of your study. Okay, proof of sufficient financial means. So that's around 666 per month. So if your study is 2 years, you don't have to provide for all the 2 years. You just need to you can provide for a year financial proof of funds for a year, but we'll have a in-depth look into that. So just stay with me. You need the admission letter. You need a letter explaining your choice of study and how it will benefit you. Proof of English, proof of criminal record or no criminal record, high school certificates, and all that. And if your documents are not in English, then you need an official translator to do that for you. Now, let's have a look. So, bank statements. Typically, you must present a bank statement. hmm, Typically, so the highlighted part, you must present a bank statement for the last 3 to 6 months. This should show that you have sufficient funds to support your trip. There isn't, so here is the issue, there isn't a fixed amount that you need to prove, but it should cover your accommodation, meals, internal travel, and emergencies. So they did not state a specific amount, but you need to make sure the amount is enough to cover your accommodation, meals, and your traveling. Now, how do you get to know this? So we will have a look at the cost of living for students schooling at the University of Luxembourg. And if you get an idea of the cost of living, then you have an idea how much you need in your bank statement. I hope we are making sense here. So you just need to stay with me and let's peruse this together. So you need sponsorship letter if you have a sponsor, and all these things you can read together. You can read on later. Now let's move on to the cost of living, and this is for University of Luxembourg. So if we are able to establish how much you need in your bank account, you can then go ahead and apply for the school. And if you get admission, you apply for the visa. Now, starting budget, cost of living. At your arrival, let me bold in it for you to see. So at your arrival, you have to prepare an amount of plus or minus 1,900 euros for the following positions: registration, health insurance. You remember all these things were highlighted when we were looking at the funds you need to prove for your visa. So you need to make sure all the funds you have in your account can cater for all these things. And they are saying you need about 1,900 euros. So you need about 1,900 euros to establish that you can cater for your initial stay. And in your sponsor letter or letter to support your application, you can then indicate that further funds will be made available at the course of your study. So initially, you need about 2,000 euros, 2,000 euros and above to prove that you have it, you can cater for yourself. Now, here is the estimated monthly budget for a student. Okay, so if you are schooling in Luxembourg, this is the estimated student budget. So we have a student in Luxembourg, so the highlighted part. Okay, a student in Luxembourg would therefore need a budget of 1,800 euros, okay, to cover all his or her needs. Okay, so 1,000, that's approximately 1,900. So if you have about 2,000 going to show to prove in your bank statement, 2,000 euros, that will be great advantage for you to get your student visa. So this is the registration of the University of Luxembourg. So first and second semesters you pay 400 euros, very cheap compared to other European universities. And third to sixth. So, as you progress, the fees even drops. So, you need 200 euros for the subsequent semesters. Okay. And housing is about 450 a month. And you need a deposit of, so all this cumulatively, that's you need about 1,900 euros to prove in your bank statement, or yeah, for proof of funds, and these are additional costs. So guys, I hope you have a fair idea what we are looking at to support your visa application. The challenging document most people face is the bank statement. And with this particular university, it's very affordable. 400 euros for the first two semesters, and 200 euros for semester 3 to 6, guys. So that's why I've taken the pain to bring you this research so that you know how to plan your journey. Okay, so let's look further, let's continue and see what we have to provide. So the question is, can you then work as a student in Luxembourg? And remember, all you need is to show the proof of funds. When you get to the country, you don't have to pay all the 2 years or 3 years or 4 years school fees together. No, it's paid on semester basis. Each semester you paid. So each semester, remember, the first and second semesters you pay 400 euros. Now from the third semester going, you just pay 200 euros. 200 euros. So just convert it to your currency, 200 euros to your currency, and you know how much we are talking about. And most importantly, you can even work as well. So let's quickly have a look. All students enrolled at the University of Luxembourg are authorized to work during their studies, irrespective of their nationality. So it doesn't matter which country you come from, you can work. So you can work up to 40 hours a week on holidays, and you can work 15 hours a week during school hours. So 40 hours on holidays, that's very huge, and 15 hours during the week, which can give you enough money to also support your living. And these are, the conditions of employment. You can make as high as 2,000 euros per month gross, and they will take tax. So of course, you can make about 2,000 euros. And remember, your fees is just 200 euros. So guys, so this is even amazing. The important thing is getting it to the country. How you sponsor yourself and your education, you can work to do that. And there are lots of opportunities, working opportunities in Luxembourg. So now that we've established the visa conditions and whether you are allowed to work or not, let's move on to the programs offered by this university. So for 2024-2025, the admission started in 1st February, so we are a bit behind. But it's important to note that the deadlines are program specific. So you just need to have that in mind. The deadlines are program specific. Okay, so now let's look at the guideline. Choose a study. So this application process, you need to choose a program of study. And remember, they said you can choose up to 3 programs, whether for undergraduate or masters. You are allowed to choose 3 programs. So this link will take you to their programs. We will have a look. Let's open that, and we will come to that in a minute. And also you check your eligibility, and I think this is program specific. So when you go to the programs page, you should be able to check your eligibility. You prepare your required documents, you create an online account, and the link is there. That will take you to the application portal. You complete your application and pay the application fee, and it's just 50 euros per application. And remember, most people hate paying application fee. So if you take the pain to get the 50 euros to pay the application fee, you can just imagine for yourself your chances, because the application fee automatically takes some people away from the race. So if you take the pain to pay the application fee and submit your application, and importantly, I've taken you through the visa requirements, and also, how much you will need to pay as a student, just 400, 200 to 400 euros a month. So guys, per semester. So guys, this is amazing. You submit your online application and your application will be processed. So you can click on apply now and go straight to your application if your documents are ready. Now let's quickly have a look at the programs they offer. So for 2024-2025, here are the programs. So bachelors, that's undergraduates. So here are the programs. The ones in French, meaning they don't have English version. So you need to make sure that the program is tutored in English so that you can apply. So we have bachelor in nursing. We have a lot of bachelor's programs here. They are categorical. So when you check here, here is Faculty of Science, Technology, and Medicine. Mm. When you come down, we have Faculty of Law, Economics, and Finance. So you just look at your field and go there to look at the program specific requirements and deadlines. Okay, and here are the masters. Masters, we have masters at the Faculty of Science, Technology, and Medicine. We have masters at the Faculty of Law and Economics. We have masters at the Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences. So, guys, there are lots of programs, but note you need to go for the programs that have English version of moderation. And let's use this as an example. So, this is Bachelor in Business Administration. Okay, so when you go to the program specific website, you have lots of information there. So this is 3 years, that's 6 semesters. And remember, first and second semester 400 euros, and from third semester going 200 euros per semester. So teaching languages, so in French and in English. So they have English version, so you can go for it. And the admission dates, so 16th February to 30th April. So most of these applications will be ending soon. So today is 16th. So guys, if you are interested, just go ahead. Or if you think it's too late for you, you can bookmark it and have a look for the next academic year. So this is the fees here. 400 euros per semester for semester 1 and 200 euros per semester from semester 3 going. So it's full-time program, part-time student status allowed as well. So guys, that's it for you. So now let's move on to the how you can prove your language skills. And remember, they have criteria here. We cannot look through for the purposes of time, but if your previous education was in English, automatically you qualify for an exemption. Aside that, they have other exemptive criteria which you can read through later. So this is amazing. Luxembourg is a beautiful country. Okay. Oh, and in addition to the cheap and affordable um, school fees, they also have scholarships. And it pains me to not have arrived or discovered this opportunity much earlier, because this scholarship gives as high as 10,000 euros per year. They give you 10,000 euros per year for up to 2 years. But sadly, the deadline has elapsed. It ended last month, and it will cover your accommodation, your expenses. So the deadline was 29th March, sadly. But I mean, if you still are interested and you think you cannot pay the 400 euros per semester, just bookmark it for the next academic year. Then you can go back and apply. They have other scholarship opportunities as well, okay, which you can have a look. They have hardship assistance. And remember, all these are in addition of um, affordable tuition fees. You can work as well, and no specific amount to show as proof of funds for your visa application. So guys, this is an amazing opportunity, and I would encourage each of you to give it a go. Remember, it's for undergraduate, it's for masters, and they have PhDs as well. So anyone watching this video, if you think you are not interested, just share, please like the video. It helps us to reach a lot of people so that people can benefit. Remember, we are all here for one goal. And also, most importantly, most people who come and watch our videos have not subscribed. So please, if you want to motivate us to continue to do this, please subscribe to the channel. Just get interactive by commenting, and the team will be also happy to help you. So I wish you all the best for now, and surely I will see you in our next video.